Welcome back to Hardball. President Trump today said his failed nominee for VA Secretary, Admiral Ronnie Jackson, was brought down by false accusations. And in classic Trump style, the president found a way to link Jackson's treatment to his own troubles.
I called him today. I said, in a certain way, you're in a very big way, you're an American hero, because you've exposed the system for some horrible things. I've had it happen to me with the Russian collusion hoax. It's a hoax. But I came into the job understanding that things happen. He didn't. He's a great doctor. He's a great admiral. He didn't really think a thing like this could happen. And I think it's a disgrace.
Let's bring in the Hardball Roundtable. Jason Johnson's politics editor of TheRoot.com and an MSNBC contributor, political contributor. That's even better. Dan Eberhart is a GOP fundraiser and CEO of Canary LLC. And Annie Linskey is national political reporter for The Globe. That's the Boston Globe, pronounced as that, Boston Globe. You know, I want to start with you, Annie. Trump, it does bring it back to himself, but it does seem to be, this is a messy game being a Trumpy.
It really is. I mean, the amount of turnover that the Times sort of revealed in that story today, it's just kind of stunning to be reminded of that. And there do seem to be like two buckets of people that get chewed up in this Trump machine. I mean, there are people who come in with this sterling reputation and then Trump hangs them out to dry in some way.
Examples?
Rex Tillerson is the best, I think.
Yeah.
And then you also have people who really weren't perhaps ready for prime time, and that becomes revealed when they're on the national stage. And in the combination therein, you're seeing so much turnover.
Dan?
Yeah, why?
Anybody look better than they came in? Anybody looks better now than when they came in the door?
I think Rick Perry's done fine. I think Secretary Perdue has done fine. I think Nikki Haley looks better. I think her stature's been enhanced. I think that Mike Pence has executed brilliantly for Trump.
Anybody in the White House circle look better now than they did coming into the White House?
Why?
I mean, close in. Anybody near the Trumps look better than when they came in?
I would say.
You got all the time you need. Who looks good in the White House?
Mike Pence.
Oh, in the White House. Okay, fine. He's elected official. Go ahead.
See, here's the thing. Looking good means...
I'll give you time to think about it.
If I left the White House tomorrow and decided I was going to run for congressman or state senator in my home state, would that help me on my resume? And I would say almost nobody. There aren't a lot of people who could leave this administration and go back to any of those, even those purple states, even those states that flip red and say, hey, I spent time in the Trump administration, elect me in Michigan. So no, it has been a pall. It has been just a millstone on the neck of people who have been in this administration.
Well, I'm just thinking about all the ideologues around him. I'm thinking of some of the guys who came in with their own scent to begin with. You know, Roger Stone with his reputation as a you know, what do you call it? Troublemaker.
Right. Bannon, for example. I mean, he's certainly...
Bannon was known as a trouble guy.
Yeah.
And Trump seems to like those guys. And Corey Lewandowski, you know, Metza going in, going out about the same.
Price is another example of someone who...
Prince Priebus, you know, came in as party chairman. He goes out as a guy who failed.
I think there's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people that have succeeded in the Trump administration.
In the White House.
Kellyanne Conway.
You think she's looking good?
Yeah.
I think she's done a marvelous job. I think her credibility has been enhanced. I also think that the media is really...
credibility.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Yes.
Her credibility has been absolutely shrunk. She's the one who came up with the term alternative facts. No one who is associated with alternative facts can be considered a respected person when they leave this White House. Sebastian Gorka, Steve Bannon, people leave this White House and they are tainted. They are tainted by the man who's at the top, who's sitting in the executive office right now. So I don't see how anybody benefits coming from this place unless you're going to a place that is ideologically in line with this president, and that is a shrinking number of locations.
I don't think they're tainted by people. I don't think they're tainted by their association with Trump. I think that certain people have been unable to keep up with the pressure and unable to keep up with the pace. I think that Trump moves at the pace of business. I think it's different from government, and I think that it's caused a lot of consternation in Washington.
You know, I would say Mark Short would be one person who I think has done a really good job sort of keeping his head down. And
Mark Short?
Yeah. He's the legislative director in the White House. He came from sort of the Koch world.
Former Pence chief of staff.
Former Pence chief of staff.
Porter.
Well, that's in the other category.
It just seems to be a problem.
But there's also the
It's
case.
so hard
There's
for people
also
to
the
think
case,
of this.
though.
That's the issue.
Look, how many people work in the White House and the old executive office building? You know, we know about the 10 or 15 or 30 people that the media puts up on the screen as the fallen angels.
Because they're the top people.
Yeah, but there's also, but they're not all of the top people. There's some of the top people, and there's another, what, 500 people that work in the old executive office building?
Do you think sycophancy is a problem in this administration where you have to bow down really below Trump for him to like you? Did you in any way become a colleague? And I'm not sure he's the only guy like this in politics, by the way. But he seems to dislike it very much if anybody gets any ink besides him.
You see these videos of the entire table. It's almost like an old mob movie, having to be supplicant to him and tell him how great he is before he starts signing bills and beginning his work. That doesn't end up being beneficial to you long term unless it's look. If Donald Trump,
especially when he's walking around like Robert De Niro with a baseball
exactly
bat.
twirling the bat, you know, and
waiting to see whose head gets knocked.
Yeah, you know, that doesn't end up helping out.
That was the image I liked. It wasn't The Last Supper. It's more like. Anyway, it's like, let me think of the movie. I think it's The Untouchables. Anyway, the roundtable's sticking with us. I heard it in my ear, but I knew it before I heard it. Up next, these people tell me something I don't know. You're watching Hardball.